Social norms are basically rules for behavior, and we follow them constantly from the moment we get up to the moment we go to sleep. Right? That's what we've done as humans. We create rules that we can follow so we can coordinate. It's the glue that keeps us together. That glue is stronger in certain cultures, whether they're nations, states, organizations, and the glue is weaker in other contexts. And it's what I call tightness and looseness. Tight cultures have many strong rules and strict punishments for behavior. Loose cultures have much more tolerance, they have weaker norms, and they're much more permissive. But loose cultures corner the market on openness. It's the loose cultures that are much more tolerant of different types of people, whether they're different races, different religions, immigrants, people who have stigma. Loose cultures have a lot more creativity, they come up with better ideas, and they're more open to change. Tight cultures struggle with these kinds of differences, and they tend to be more closed-minded. So you can see this is a trade-off. Each has its advantages. Neither has the corner on any particular market. They have very serious strengths in different criteria. Think about your own organization that you work in and how tight or loose it is and why it might be the case. Just like nations, tight organizations tend to face more threat and they need more coordination. Think airlines, think the military, nuclear power plants. Or they might face a lot of public accountability, like accountants or banks. These organizations vary very dramatically in the people that are attracted to them, the kinds of practices that we constantly are engaged with, and the leaders that are driving their ships. And they have practices that are more formal, focus on efficiency and structure. And they have leaders that tend to be more autonomous, that are making a lot of the decisions. Contrast that to the people, practices, and leaders in loose organizations that are diametrically different. Those organizations tend to attract people who have the personality characteristic we call openness, open to different ideas, open to risk. They also have practices that have far more discretion and are less structured, maybe sometimes quasi-disorganized. And they have leaders that are more collaborative and visionary, like startups and tech, design, advertising. They tend to occupy environments where there's a lot of diversity and mobility and less threat. And they're places where there's fewer rules to abide by. At this point, you're probably wondering, which is better, tight or loose? Should we maximize freedom or looseness? Or should we maximize rules or constraint? What if the answer was neither? That actually groups might need to veer tight or loose for good reasons, like we've talked about. But what I found is that groups that get too extreme, that you become too tight or too loose, face a lot of problems. The best leaders in organizations are ambidextrous when it comes to tight and loose. They know when to deploy tightness, they know when to deploy looseness. Innovation requires both. It requires looseness to generate a lot of great ideas, but it also requires tightness to help implement those ideas. So we need as leaders to learn how to be ambidextrous.